Well, today on the Arguably Awesome podcast, we are hosting some of my newest obsession when it comes to music lately. We've got Chris Spicer and Deale, if I'm saying your last name right. I hope I am.
Yeah, perfect.
Of Camp Crush, a local Portland band. They have some of the grooviest, like new wave indie pop kind of like dramatic drums. I love the whole vibe of it. Today we're gonna tuck into like some music with them. We're talking influences, backgrounds, and what it's like performing on the local scene. Anthony, you got anything you want to add to that? I feel like I always put you in these weird spots.
I have ADHD, so I'm just kind of looking over here at this light. No, I really like the music because I was really feeling it at that. I wasn't sure what kind of music you guys were going to play because I had never heard about Camp Crush until that night when we saw Corey Feldman. But yeah, I was liking it. I like those electronics. I used to remix music. So I really like the bass, the synths, oh man, it's been a while. I forgot some of those notes. Are you guys using vocoders at all? You're not using vocoders, are you?
No. Yeah.
I had FL Studio. I knew all these terms, and now I've lost it.
I do have a vocal processor, though. To be fair,
I like messing with those.
Lets me manage mostly reverb, and like sometimes I like to add like a choral effects in my vocals. So it might sound like there's 20 gens singing instead of just one gen singing. It's a little like trick to, for us, since we're a duo. We like as much as we can live. Like we have a few tracks that we throw in, but generally like our goal is always to play as much of the music totally live as we can. And so the vocal processor helps us, like if I want to feel like I have a chorus effect right here or add a little harmony in here,
I'll do some harmony.
You do
but
harmony.
If you want it to be perfect, you rely on the vocal processor.
Yeah. It was hard to hear you harmonizing though at the concert because there was so much. It was so loud.
Yeah,
like
very bombastic.
Because you were saying something about the speakers before we started recording. That what was it? Bossanova's great.
Yeah, so it was at Bossanova Ballroom, and they have a lot of metal bands and punk bands. Some of our friends played. There's like this famous punk band called Fear. I don't know if you've heard of Fear, but this local legendary drummer named Spit Sticks plays in the band Fear. He's a Portland guy, but yeah, they played there on New Year's Eve. Like they had a big Fear New Year's Eve show.
Oh wow,
that's the type of show they're used to having at Bossanova Ballroom. So
we gotta check it out.
Corey Feldman, Camp Crush was like a pretty big divergence from their usual thing. So, but
they knew it'd bring in the people.
Well, and we love playing. Yes, you got the buttons.
The buttons, yeah.
I had a sticker with the ski somewhere.
The butt sticker.
That one's,
I always say
NSFW.
I always say that's Chris's butt. It's not, but
that's what I noticed when I saw it at the place. I was like, wait, is that a naked person on the thing? I looked closer. I was like, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, 18 plus sticker.
I was like, it reminded me of that Chelsea Handler, which is doing that not too long ago. She's always skiing.
She's always skiing. Yeah, exactly.
Forgot about that.
but Bossanova is awesome because they are built to host these like massive shows with like 2 drummers and like everything is like double bass pedal, and it's just this huge,
You got to have the big subs for all that.
Yeah, but it works really well for our music, I think, because we have a lot of bass that's happening, and obviously a lot of drums, and so you get the bottom level of that as well as all the rest of the stuff.
Love it. So y'all have been operating not necessarily as Camp Crush, but working together in a band since about 2017, if I did my research right.
Camp Crush actually started in that in 2017, but we've been playing music together. I mean, I've always said for a decade, but now it's like longer than that.
No, I think 13 years maybe.
13 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So
wow.
Back in the day, I was looking for my solo project. I was looking for a drummer, and you know, auditioned Chris and was like, gotta nail that one down. So that was great. And then, you know, here we are, like, married and, you know, doing this together, you know, a lot of 13 years later. And then also, you know, we've had a lot of different bands over the years. We had a folk band, kind of more of like a blues rock band.
How did you pronounce the folk band's name?
So Santiam, like the Santiam River, you know. So we played under that for a long time, and then it sort of happened gradually where we were getting some success with that. But I was getting deep into the synthesizer world, and
Santiam, I think, was like when we started that. We both grew up in Oregon, and we were like, we should have a band where we write about memories and experiences growing up in the state. And we're like, well, Santiam, there's the Santiam River, there's the Santiam Pass, like a very Oregon name. And so it kind of felt almost like an intentional, like, we're doing this one thing with music. And we just kind of felt a little bit held down into one path when we were doing that. We started feeling like, hey, what if we just made music that we just loved to make, that we wanted to make, without any kind of, you know, particular guidelines, anything like that. And that bled into, you know, Camp Crush and where we are today.
And there's kind of a cute story behind the name Camp Crush. I don't know if this is like appropriate.
Read in my mind. Thank you.
It's not kind of cute. It's too cute.
It's okay. It's not kind
Is it going to be dirty or is it going to be cute?
No, dude, it's like stinking powder puff cute. It's like cute.
Okay.
It's so freaking cute. It's stupid, but it is real. You know, so when we were getting to know each other, when we were first playing music together, you know how you're like, oh, like, where'd you grow up? Oh, wait, like, you did that. And we sort of went all the way back and realized, like, oh, so I grew up in Alaska, but we moved there a little bit later, like in my middle school years. And so before that, I lived in Oregon, and we realized we went to the same summer camp, like sleepaway summer camp, the same year, the same location. And then
we went to sleepaway camp.
We went to sleepaway camp. Like,
well, I mean, it was like, you know, like a week of camp. There's
hundreds of kids, you know, you're sleeping in like these, like,
everybody survived.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know. And
it's not like the movie, right? Sleepaway Camp.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
No,
one.
there's no. I don't know if like there's like legit.
More like,
you know, it was
more like Wet Hot American Summer.
I think I'm the only one that might know that movie.
There was like archery at 6 a.m. You know, like okay, let's just get up and like learn how to bow and arrow something.
There might have been a slip and slide.
There was a slip and slide for sure. You know, a little like pottery and like basket weaving stuff, and
that big bubble thing in the water you can jump on and fly off.
You know, one of the
maybe that was a special thing one year.
The blob.
Yeah, the blob.
The blob. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So you know, we would go to these sleepaway camps, and we ended up going to the same sleepaway camp the same summer. And they, of course, the last night had a talent show, because like, why wouldn't you have that at sleepaway camp? And we were just talking about this, and he goes, oh my God, were you Blonde Jenny? Did you sang in a talent show? You're Blonde Jenny that sang in the talent show? And I was like, well, of course I was like singing in the talent show. And then you're like, I had the biggest camp crush on you. And then, so that's the name. I know. It's like a little lore.
It was given to you.
Little camp crush lore.
I tell people that story at my job all the time. I love it. It's so great. I'm like, you guys these people are so great. Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah.
It is. It's too cute. That part's too cute. But
and no one believes you. They're like, there's no way that's true.
They're like, oh yeah, that's yeah, really? Oh, at camp. Sure. Let me guess. Where do they meet at camp?
You're like, actually, no. Sometimes people think we are a metal band because they're like, it's a Camp Crush, you know, the Crush a Can, you know. I'm like, no.
Sounds like a late 2000s screamo electronic.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you think that's what this is, you're gonna hate this. Like this is what this actually is not gonna be.
Maybe I might actually end up loving it.
I am freaking so obsessed with you guys. I was standing in the audience. Like, I wish I had a background for it. I was just standing there. I was just like, mouth open. The freaking lights were taking over me. And you guys were just like, do I inspire the fireflies? And I'm just like, yeah.
Exactly what happened.
He kept turning to me. He was like, man, this is awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
I actually remember like looking down and seeing you two, and you guys are like, yeah, that's bad. I think
I
sometimes
was really like enthralled.
Yeah,
I think sometimes people, and obviously you two go to shows a lot, but I think somebody comes to like a Corey Feldman show. Maybe they don't go to a ton of. They're not going out maybe to like local shows a lot, and so in these kinds of shows, sometimes people think like there's no barrier, like there's a huge barrier. They could be like 2 feet from the stage and be like, this person, the performers can't see me, or I'm like, no, I can see you. I love it. Thanks for bringing the energy.
No,
Most
you guys
of
were
the
so
concerts
nice.
I've been to are from the 80s.
Yeah, they're like, so what movie were you in? So I think
I wasn't in any 80s movies.
Yeah.
Nor any other movies.
No.
So.
Yeah.
You guys were like, you guys look good out
an
there
80s
tonight.
movie? Are we talking about Corey Feldman?
Like, are you guys Corey Feldman? We're like, we are not Corey Feldman. He's coming up next. Yeah.
We got the interview because you couldn't get Corey, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you probably reached out.
Well, it's a funny story because I won free tickets to see Corey Feldman. On his Instagram. He posted a picture of this hook that looked like, he's like, if somebody can tell me, oh, look at, he did that to the beanie.
Yeah.
He's like, if somebody can tell me what this creature thing is I found under my car, I'll give 2 free if you guys follow him, you see he always puts everything in caps. And I'm like,
it's all caps. Yeah.
Corey, you're texting like a teen.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I didn't know what it was, so I used this website called Yandex. It's like the best image reverse searching, whatever. Okay. So I screenshot it, I uploaded it, and I'm like, come on, scrolling down. This got to be what this is. This isn't a bug. And I found something. I'm like, oh my god, this looks just like what it was. And I was trying to be fast because they'd mention it, but he's like, I want photo proof and a screenshot or something like that. So it was like a cactus hook. There's like these hooks on top of certain cactuses. And I screenshot, I said where I got it, and there's everyone like, hey, am I the first one? He's like, hey, man, I accept this as proof. And I kept the message, of course. I keep messages from many famous people I talk to. You have to. But I'm like, oh my God, I just won. And I told Eric, hey, Eric, I'm bringing you to the Corey Feldman concert.
I was like, oh, you say Corey Feldman?
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to be there. Yeah. So
I'm like, it's either going to be a good concert or a bad concert, but hey, it was free. So I didn't waste any money.
What an experience.
It was worth it.
What an experience, right? And actually what was kind of fun about this show for us is that we got booked through Bossanova Ballroom. So it wasn't through Corey. One of the main bookers at Bossanova heard it. They play us at Timbers games sometimes. So they heard our song at a Timbers game at halftime, and then he like ran up to the sound booth and was like, "Who is this band?" And then some got our number and called us and asked us to play for Corey Feldman, which was really fun. But
wow,
yeah, I mean, that was, I'm like, I love
dreams.
Timber, thank you, Timbers. But I think what was like so fun about that show is that the like Willamette Week was there, and they were writing up there. They have like this awesome write up of the show. They like reviewed Corey's set and they did a separate article about us, but they were just there to sort of kind of soak in the show. And so it was just really fun because I think people were there to see, like, I think it was a wild card show.
Yeah,
people didn't know what was going to happen.
I think people showed up for a spectacle and did not leave disappointed. I think that, maybe people went in with some sort of expectations, low or high. But when I was like loading out gear at the end of the night, I was walking by a lot of people that were like, you know what? I had a pretty good time. I had way more fun than I expected to.
I had this like sweet moment at the end of the show. Corey had just like was about to wrap up. We were loading
Should we play some music?
And and we're just like, we're out in the back, and this lady, and I don't know, she's probably like in her, like, I don't know, early 50s, and she's there with her adult children. Mm-hmm. Loves Corey Feldman, is there to see Corey Feldman, and she just like fell into my arms weeping, because she just had like the best night of her life, and she's like, your last song, and I love this and this, and then Corey's here, and we're just like, I'm holding her and she's crying, and it was beautiful. It was a wonderful time. And then her kids are like, oh, please
be cool,
mom. Mom. Like,
I haven't been to very many concerts with my mom.
No, and who knows what she would do? You never know what a mom's gonna like. It can be emotional.
What concerts have you been to with your mom?
Well, okay. Let me think.
Oh.
Growing up, maybe she took me to see some concerts, but she'll come to see us as long as it, maybe is like at 2 p.m.
Yeah, like a Sunday.
Yeah, it's not at like 9 o'clock at night.
Festival, she'll bring a lawn chair.
It's really sweet.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
But you didn't tell me who you guys saw together.
Okay, so to be fair, I grew up in a conservative Christian household.
Okay, we saw Michael W. Smith.
Correct.
Yeah.
You nailed it. Somewhere in the night.
Let's see. Jars of Clay opened, I think.
I've heard of Jars of Clay. Okay.
Yeah, I took my mom to see Stephen Curtis Chapman at the Arlene Schnitzer concert hall.
I know. Listen, we know. Okay.
Yeah, this is it's mom music. I went to mom music shows with my mom.
The entire Fish lineup.
Switchfoot, Jars of Clay, and Michael W. Smith.
Go to the show that your mom's putting on.
I think I won tickets to one of those shows. So similar situation. I took my mom though, which is like the height of cool.
Yeah.
So
okay, was this in the 90s? I know Jars of Clay is from the 90s. I know Michael W. Smith
like late 90s probably. Yeah.
I still think Michael W. Smith's version of "Our God is an Awesome God" slaps.
You were the only person that's ever said that sentence. Like, I think that sentence is like yours and yours alone,
I like this song Somewhere in the Night from 92. Was it 92? I forgot. My mom would play that on the radio in the car and I'd be like, yeah, Mom, play that song. My mom's like a heavy Christian.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
My mom was super into Amy Grant, but, she had like Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston CDs in the car.
You might throw,
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, my mom's listening to this? Oh, we're going to hell.
If only you knew. Yeah, no, she,
If that's the devil's music.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be holy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be holy. Mm-hmm.
Devil Loves Divas.
I remember the first concert I went. You guys,
Devils Love Divas. Wow, Chris, you are spitting magic tonight with that.
You guys remember Charlie FM 97.1?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have 97, but they had Dr. Doug and Skippy. I loved listening.
Oh
to
yeah. Totally.
And then there's a whole thing about that why they're not on there anymore. But they had the 2007 Clash reunion concert, and I heard it on the radio when I was in the shower. I was like, the ZZ Top, the Stray Cats, the Pretenders, and Gin Blossom. They only played like 2 songs there, but I was like, what? I gotta tell my dad. Like, can you get tickets there? Because I was in high school, I didn't have a job. It's like, hey, can you get tickets to see these guys? Because I've been obsessed with the 80s for like the last 21 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, you got to get this. I mean, who knows how at least 3 bands from the 70s and 80s that were like major are going to tour together.
Sounds like a good line.
It was great. The Clark County Amphitheater in the summer of 2000. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I had all the video files. I don't know where they are anymore.
Oh, man.
But they all 3 got on stage and were guitaring out. And I was like, holy, I got the photos. So at least I got that still. But man, and one of the band members has passed now, like last year, and I'm like, I'm just glad I got to see that legendary group.
I had a memory with Clark County Amphitheater, similar situation where I begged my dad to take me to a show that was happening there. He did not take me, and I'm sad because it was Weird Al Yankovic, and it would have been an incredible life.
Was that in the late 90s?
Oh yeah. Oh wait, yeah, it might have been in the early 90s.
Because my dad tried to get me to go to one in 98, and I said no.
Oh,
what stupid I am.
That's not right. Yeah, I probably would have. Yeah, I was born in '86, so I would have been about 12 years old. That sounds about right. Weird Al was my entire world.
Yeah,
so,
my entire world was Madonna and Mariah Carey, and yours was Weird Al, and that is the influence.
So we're pretty much we're around the same age.
Influences. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm just kidding. That's Mother.
It's
Weird Al.
There you go. He's like, whenever I hop on those drums, man, the first thing that comes to mind is Weird Al.
Yeah. I mean, basically you got to copy all the greatest drummers.
My main is, oh, God, that's
You're representing a million different drummers. If you listen to Weird Al, you're listening to every drummer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's deep.
An amalgamation of things.
Yeah.
That is really deep.
Speaking of influences, though, Jen, in your guys' interview with, I want to say it was with Jay Horton at the Willamette Weekly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you had mentioned that when you were in Alaska, you were studying. It was the classical singing, but then you were transitioning into opera.
Yeah, I mean, I think like if you study classical singing, it's sort of a pathway to opera. You know, if you want to do, like, if you want to sing, be a classical singer, the only real profession you can do is either, like, you can go like be a teacher, or you can go and try to like professionally do like opera, or yeah, I mean, like that style of music. And so, especially the programs that I was in really were sort of geared towards opera. And I was a choir nerd. You know, I love like you know, advanced. I was just like in an all a cappella, you know, small choir ensemble that sang exclusively songs in different languages from like before 1700. Like it was so dorky. I just loved it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and then on my off time, I was like, I only listen to Billy Joel. Like that was just like my world right then, you know, and and so of course I'm like, you know, I'm learning to play every Billy Joel song, and then I'm also just like, you know, practicing. I'm going to be an opera singer, you know, and then I sort of went to college, was going to study that, and then got into jazz, you know, at the gateway to rock and roll. Yeah, exactly. And I did the jazz thing for a minute, and that was really fun. But then I was like, what if I just sang what I like would actually listen to like on a Friday night? Like, what if I tried that, you know? And then, you know, moved to Portland. And then we ended up, you know, starting an open mic that we had we hosted that every Monday night for 5 years. And during that time, I just felt like I really got to try a lot of different things as a songwriter. I started out very jazzy, very bluesy. And then that sort of like, then I started picking up the guitar, and then I started picking up other instruments and playing, you know, writing to that, and hearing other people and their songwriting every week and the things that they're just trying out. And that was, you know, influencing me to try new things and collaborating with people. And I just feel like that all sort of converged to us, like me now making the music that I was like obsessed with when I was 10 years old, and like all that I wanted to listen to. It's sort of kind of, it's like a fun full circle thing. But I've got all this this background that I can bring into it, where, you know, I studied voice for so long, and now I can, you know, kind of try to be.
You can do anything now.
Yeah,
you have a mix of everything.
Yeah,
right.
That's so perfect, because you can still actually kind of hear some of your previous trainings and the influence of the music that you make today. And I like that you mentioned that it all comes full circle, because I actually have here a circle diagram of what I think your guys' music is mostly composed of. So we have about 25% drums and backup vocals. We have 25% lead vocals and keyboard, and 50% drama. If you can see that, you guys have this way of pumping this like moodiness into your songs, like on Shadows, when you're like the blood and sweat and tears would brew upon my brow. I'm just like, oh, I love it. It gives me goosebumps.
Is it interesting to see this? Is it interesting to see somebody singing your own song?
I love it. No, it's great.
I want to see this.
I want to see the full thing.
I want to see this karaoke.
He was shaking almost. He was like,
yeah, you were feeling it, and
I like the spirit. Yeah.
Actually, there is
like the Stranger Things
in the spirit.
I love it. No, there actually is a karaoke bar.
Oh my God, my computer fell.
There's a karaoke bar in town called Baby Ketten, which we love. Baby Ketten, we go there all the time.
Also, this is Gus.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Gus.
There's a bar called Booty Cat.
No.
Oh my God.
Actually, not close at all. No,
not Booty Cock. Booty Cat.
Baby Ketten karaoke. Ketten. It's on Powell and like 20th or something.
Yeah.
This just turned from PG to hard 18.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Sorry, guys.
A bar called Booty Cat. But they were like, we want to put a Camp Crush song on karaoke, and I was like, hell yeah, like let's do it. So we had to figure out which song. But after seeing that performance of Shadows, maybe we have our answer. You know?
Do you guys remember?
Don't flatter me.
Do you guys remember a band? It was a great like folky alternative band called Lost in the Trees.
It sounds familiar.
That sounds hella
They would
familiar.
always go to the Doug Fur Lounge, and I saw them twice. The guy is just like you. He's classically trained. He's a great singer, and oh my god, it's like violins, guitar, and like I was like, oh my god, I wish they'd never broken up.
Sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad that you didn't know. That was a.
Okay.
Can you erase that because they don't know?
Okay, no, I'm like, no, you're giving us great information. I'm excited.
But you guys should look them up. You
Were they
fall
a
in love
local
with them.
band? They were a
Just
local band?
great live, huh?
They were a local band?
God, I wish they would have made it big. Well, they did, but they weren't from here.
Oh,
Like
okay.
from Cincinnati or something.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I could be
check 'em out.
totally wrong.
Lost in the Trees.
Doug Fur, one of our favorite places to play. Like they just any night you go, it's going to be incredible music.
Some of my very favorite shows that we've ever played have been at Doug Fur. It always sounds so good in there, and their front of house, the folks that do sound there are insane.
Yeah.
They are.
I should have asked Eric to go. It was only like $15 to get in.
Yeah.
Where? When?
Well, this was like 2012 and 2014.
I was like, wait,
it was a long time ago.
We don't often play shows that cost more than $15.
No,
so, I
feel a little weird about like bridging the $20 moment,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal.
You guys were. Eric told me you guys were playing over here at Edgefield. It's 7 minutes from my house.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we played this really fun. So Edgefield just started this new series at the loading dock. So it's not the big stage, but it's like, what is it next to the fires?
There's like the power station.
You got to play. Let's just say that.
We tell people. Yeah, we play Edgefield.
Don't worry about it. No, they have. So it's just really cool. It's like an outdoor, but like a covered, heated situation. I mean, and frankly, like they have some really incredible bands. Like they're the person that books that knows the Portland scene and knows what's good. And so we were stoked. They actually invited us to open up this new series. We couldn't play that one, so we had to play in December.
But I think the series is still happening. It's like every Friday and Saturday night they've got like an outdoor, like with heaters under a tent music series, and it's free. It's just like if you're on the grounds of Edgefield Friday or Saturday night, there's music happening. And
But speaking of cool shows, we do have a cool one that's coming up, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, do you want to plug it?
Is it what I think it is?
You got $5. Send it to my Venmo.
Yeah, okay, I'll Venmo you and then I'll plug the show. But we're playing speaking of our favorite venues in town, we're playing once again at Mississippi Studios, which I just love. And we released our EP there this summer, and it was an incredible. It was just one of like the highlights of our career. It was so good, and so now we're coming and opening for a friend who's also amazing, Kingsley. Yeah. And she was actually a part of Portland's Best New Bands, like Willamette Week's big write-up. She was on the cover of Willamette Week, and her music's so great. And then she moved to London, like right after that. I know. So she's been in London like for the last like 8 months, and this is her like kind of returning, just like coming back to visit and returning home show. Yeah. So we're opening for that. That's March 4th.
But she's going back to London, right?
Yeah, so
I think she'll be in town for a couple months, do a show, hang out.
I don't know if I'd want to leave London after going.
Like the same weather. At least she didn't move somewhere like warm, like she doesn't have to like try to come back to this.
London, like, Paris, all those places. It's like, I don't know, Portland's
London, Paris, New York, Munich.
All the same.
Amsterdam,
It's great.
You know what I was doing, Eric?
Yes.
Oh yeah, like
everybody's talking about
the bumper
pop
sticker.
Music.
Oh, you're talking about pop. But have you seen those bumper stickers that are like London, Paris, Milan, Estacada?
They're
with words or the like a symbol from that place, like a building.
No, it's actual words.
They're just. It's almost like a bumper sticker pretending like Estacada is just as amazing international.
Yeah, it's like word association.
Estacada is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys are going to be at Mississippi Studio.
Yes,
yeah,
Mississippi
so we're
Studios.
playing. That's March 4th. And
where's that at?
It's
north
on
of Portland,
Mississippi Avenue, actually. So
it's like,
you know what?
Act like you live here, Anthony. God, oh wow, get out of here.
I've never heard of Mississippi Studio. I don't
just
know.
Move.
Just move.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't go to many bars or venues like that often.
Oh, you're missing out. Mississippi Studios.
I'm a Yelper, so usually
Well,
the elite stuff, I go somewhere.
I saw on your profile you're Yelp Elite.
Yes. On my face.
On Instagram.
Yeah, I haven't checked you out.
10 years ago or so, I worked for Yelp here in Portland.
Oh,
I've been stalking you for 10 years. It's fine.
They were stalking me.
I'm always stalking you.
No. So you were a Yelp Elite?
Yes, but I worked for Yelp in Portland. I would like help plan events and like go to cool restaurants, and it was like early on when I was trying to like find my feet in my job here in town.
But we both became. So I became a Yelp Elite during that time because I was doing all these events.
I was going to all these parties and stuff, and I was like, "You have to come with me." But the only way to come with me is if you also become Yelp Elite.
You know how it is. There's too many hot babes at these Yelp Elite events, and I was like, I gotta be there. So.
I see. You don't want him taking advantage of that Yelp Elite badge.
She said, "Who's Samantha from accounting?"
Oh,
I'm the main dish.
Wait, who wrote that review? Yeah, exactly.
The first year of being an Elite's great, but the second year I'm like, whatever.
Part-time job.
I made it already. Yeah.
Like,
But
I made it.
I didn't know.
God.
I didn't know Elite was going on that long.
Yeah.
I thought Elite had just become like a thing, but I didn't know it'd been over like 12 years. I see some people like 12 years, 14. I was like, holy Lord, how long has this Elite thing been going?
Put that on your resume.
Like, what's going on? You're trying to make us feel old. That's what's up.
Is that what you're trying to do? Wow.
Yeah, I was born in '89. Get out of here.
Oh, we're close. Yeah, we're close.
I know, but it does seem 2007 seems a long time ago now, but it doesn't at the same time.
Oh my God, I know.
97 doesn't seem like it was a long time ago.
Let me tell you, 10 years ago actually was 2013. So
yes, that's not 10 years.
Time is.
I saw Adam Ant in 2013.
Oh,
and I'm watching that video a couple days ago. I'm like, that does not seem that long ago.
No, it's weird. It's weird.
Technology advanced, and it doesn't seem things were that old now.
Well, okay, Boomer. We're not here to talk about technology. We're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Camp Crush.
Oh my God! I'm sure. Yeah, wait. I'm sure.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
We're chatting.
We're gonna get off topic.
An agenda. Yeah, we're just chatting.
I know. I almost wanted to be like, hey, so here's how. But you know what? We're just free spirited Portlanders. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting this pure gold from us.
That's awesome.
Absolute pure
back
gold.
On track. We're back on track.
Well, we were talking about pure and beautiful. I don't know. I feel like I want to jump on this segue. Why in God's name are y'all such a hot fucking couple? Like, just beautiful people. I see you guys' Instagram posts, and I'm just like, oh, wow. You guys are sitting
you guys
in, like,
have an
bars,
OnlyFans?
Black and
you got an OnlyFans site?
Yeah, I mean, no.
You guys have a couples one?
Of course we don't.
If we had an OnlyFans, that would be for
I had to throw that out.
That would be for you to discover and not for us to promote.
OnlyFans for music.
Yeah.
That's right. You know
the
what?
link in the link tree.
Think about it. Yeah, like our OnlyFans is just like our fan camp.
Wow.
That's our OnlyFans.
Just sign on up.
This mother said OnlyFans.
You want.
You know, I mean, I'm clearly the lucky one, but I'm also unfortunately like this little devil on Jen's shoulder, and I'm like, like, do it, go crazy on Instagram, and I'm like a really bad influence. So
go crazy on Instagram.
She's constantly trying to fight me and my bad influence.
Wait, what?
Oh, I mean,
it's always the women that think the men are the bad influence. What the heck?
I'm a sucker back. No, I mean, like,
I don't know where you're going.
All I'm saying is,
wow.
Obviously, I'm with Eric on this one. So
you killed me, man.
I married her for a reason. I mean, come on.
Life insurance.
I plead the fifth, man.
We're like, none of us have that. What?
No, I mean, like, listen, he's sitting down.
Making me sweat.
You can't tell. He's super.
I'm always sitting down at the drums too.
Yeah, he's very tall. So one thing that I love.
I'm 7'3".
You are 7'3". No, he's not. He is.
I am not. I'm not.
He's
7'6".
But
I am 6'6".
That's still tall.
It's very tall, and so I think it's really fun because you know, like if we walk into a room, and I'm also really tall, so we're both really tall humans, and so we walk into a room and they're like, who are these very tall humans that are walking in? Oh, it's Camp Crush. Like it's always just like a Camp Crush.
The circus is
Oh, it's just,
You about to get crushed.
and elven high lords just walking in, gracing us with their fucking beautiful forest.
And we're little hobbits just dancing in the room while they're high up on us at the stage. They got the high ground.
You know, where would we be without the hobbits, though? I'll say that much.
They saved the world. Think about Middle Earth.
Think about that.
That's so true.
The ring into the fires of Mordor. Who was it?
I'm surprised nobody sneezed in that movie. They'd fly away. Like right into that lava at the end. It was just Smeagol.
So true. I guess the big question, and you know, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I really hated when somebody like brought up like the Eagles. Like, why didn't the Eagles just fly into Mordor? And I'm like, you know what? Stop putting shit. Oh, sorry.
That'd have been too easy. We need an adventure.
Exactly. Like we're telling the story of humanity. You know,
the Eagles had to know that you know, Frodo really believed in himself first and foremost.
Frodo wasn't ready to throw the ring into the fires until he had the journey. If the Eagles like cut it anyway, I'm like, don't ruin this with your like Eagles.
Some people hate the
theory.
Eagles. You know,
some people, the
Big
band.
Lebowski, you know, hates the Eagles.
He does. Oh my gosh, he does.
I thought we were
so
going
funny.
to the band now. That's why I knew that was going to happen.
Wait, what are we talking about? I totally forgot what we were talking about.
Why you guys are so beautiful?
Because I said we were talking about how hobbits saved the world because you guys are so tall.
We're just tall.
I'm surprised my ADD allowed me to remember that far back what we were talking about.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Shoot. I can remember 20-something years ago, but I can't remember 5 seconds.
Well, we already know how your music makes me feel, which is everything.
I love it.
How does your guys' music make you feel?
Oh, you know, I love this question actually because, you know, when you're there, you know, we've been gigging and playing music both of our adult lives and even before. We've been doing this a really, really long time. And I think that sorry, my cat is being stupid. I think that in all of these different iterations, when I even was doing like jazz combos and, you know, gigging out, I loved to sing, but I wasn't necessarily feeling like this, like purpose and this joy, you know, I was getting joy from performing. But I think after we put our Camp Crush set together, and we played a couple shows, I just remember us sitting down at this bar and we both had like a beer and we're staring at each other and we're like, so this is like really cool, right? And you're like, yeah, this is really cool. And then we were just like, we did something cool, and we started high-fiving, and it was like this really dorky moment. But we still get that feeling, you know, like.
Well, and like, to be honest, like, you know, during COVID, it was really weird because we had a long break from playing shows. We were trying to do a lot of like streaming sessions from our house, and because the further we get away from playing a show, like the weirder we got. Like the more we were questioning everything about ourselves and our identity.
Totally.
And then finally,
why am I here?
Yeah. I don't know if it was like late 2020 or 2021, but like some venues started doing outdoor shows. And we went and played one, I think at Alberta Street Pub. And we played it and we were like giddy. Like it was such a crazy experience because we walked away like, oh, okay. We remember now what it's like to be us. We remember like what is important to our being and who we are. And so playing music on stage and playing as Camp Crush has really been like almost like a necessary identity moment every single time we show.
We realize that life is more than our OnlyFans account. You know what I mean? Like that's how,
you know, you got to get that money, but you also got to play that music.
You know,
so.
You guys are like, are you serious?
I'm just listening. I'm not thinking.
I'm still listening. I'm waiting for the story. Like it's an interesting story. We got to hear it.
No. I'm just joking. It was.
All right, you can start recording the thing now.
Coming back.
Okay. Let me go ahead and start it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but...
we're live now. Go.
We tricked one of the guests we had. They thought we didn't start recording when I said that.
Oh no.
My God.
Yeah, but we I mean, we really love playing live, and there's so much shit that goes into being a band. I'm sure you guys know. I mean, like a little bit of like.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially
last
now
time we
it's
were
in-
on tour was a long time ago.
Totally, you know, back in the
We're not even a band.
Well, I
Not
mean,
even a band.
okay, but like especially when you're coming up, there's just so much promo stuff. There's like the booking.
Oh, yeah.
And like there's so much stuff that goes into being a band that is not as much fun as playing the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
your release.
That's the whole purpose. Yeah.
I like to say that for me, like when we're on stage and I'm hitting a huge note or we're playing some really awesome moment, that's the most I feel like my truest self. That's the like in that moment I'm like, this is the epitome of who I am. This is like Jen 100%, and that's really cool because I think, some people don't get to ever discover or feel that moment for themselves. And I feel really lucky that I know, like, if I ever really need to reconnect with who I am and my purpose and what makes me feel amazing, like I can just go play a show, and it doesn't have to be a huge show. It just, has to be a show where we can do our thing. And like in that moment, I'm going to just like get right back to that sort of that core of who I am. And it's really cool. It's cool to know how to access that.
Yeah. Love that. Love it.
Truer words.
I like that flexing. That was
Oh, yeah, I was just like, yeah. Woo.
What are some Eric, do you mind if I ask a question?
Please do. I'm dying of embarrassment.
You said it was, how was it? Well, I'll ask two questions. So how was it doing live on virtual set?
Sure.
How was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a fragment of what we were just describing.
Yeah.
It was like knowing that we couldn't play live. It was enough to keep us going in a way. It wasn't as good. I'll say that, just because you don't get that like natural feedback of being live and having people in the audience and bringing that energy of being at the front of the stage and singing along or being excited and dancing and just like bringing like getting sweaty and hot in a room with other humans.
I do like to get sweaty and hot.
Oh my gosh, it's a steamy interview.
Yeah. So, but we knew that like what we were missing mostly was like connecting with people through the music. And so we tried a couple times. We like pre-recorded some sessions and then uploaded them.
Yeah.
But then we also did some live sessions, and the live ones were more fun because, we play a song and then I would, speak some bullshit between songs while you went on to the computer and like
you were responding, like
stuff,
Chris.
people. I was trying to practice some comedy. Where you would go on and like chat with people that were leaving comments.
But we would have like our, we'd be streaming it, but then we'd also have a computer right there, so we could interact live with folks, people commenting throughout the songs, commenting to each other. Then we'd go through and comment back. And so in a time when we couldn't see humans, and like prior to COVID, we were playing, 60 to 100 shows a year. Like we were playing a lot. And so to go from that to nothing, was a huge change for us. And so, we had to like learn a new hobby. Like we got good at tennis over COVID because we were like, we're not playing shows. Who are we? And then we're like, Camp Crush is a tennis duo now. That's who we are. And then you guys laugh at all of that. You're like, oh, you play? Okay, tennis duo.
Well, I mean, not surprising. Somebody did some. How did you guys keep the money flowing though? If you like weren't doing, is that you got other things on the side, or
we both were? Yeah, we have like remote jobs that we like can fill in the gaps with, and that's Chris does, like,
that's good. That's good.
It was really good.
You kind of have to if you're doing that kind of stuff. If it's not like a full time.
Exactly. And so before COVID, Camp Crush was definitely like one of our full-time jobs. And then, I, so it was Chris, and he did all the videography and all the photography and the design and the branding, and then also the booking and all of that. And that was definitely enough for you. And then I worked like remotely, and then during COVID, Chris learned how to become like a software engineer too. So that like helped, so he can like code from home and stuff. So we did that, but we did that during COVID because we were like, well, we new skills to like be able to like maintain this. So I was really thankful for like the ability to do that, to pick up tennis, to live stream.
You became an incredible baker.
I got good at baking bread.
Yeah.
You know,
bread was kind of, I mean, a lot of people did the bread thing during COVID, but like
what was it, sourdough?
I never got into sourdough, but
listen, that is weird. I'm sorry, but the mother, like the cord thing that
the
lives
sourdough
in,
monster.
I don't like
Oh
that.
my gosh. I don't
bread.
know.
Huh? There's something alive in the sourdough?
Yes, it's like
a living thing.
They literally call it the mother. Okay, it's the creepiest thing in the world in baking. It's somebody has some like live enzyme.
No,
thing.
and we watched that Darren Aronofsky movie Mother, and you hated it.
And I hated that. I hated that film. Anyway, that's
Mother, about the woman that becomes obsessed with the
no.
It's
Okay,
a
no,
Jennifer
that's
Lawrence.
Mama. Okay, that was a good movie though.
I haven't seen that one.
I might have seen Mother. I don't know.
But
I'm a
but
big
anyway,
movie
like
guy.
back to your question about like live streaming. Listen, like I'm so glad we had that, and it kept us connected to our fans. We also kept us writing, and what was cool is that I think we have fans from all over the place. You know, thankfully our music is played on radio stations all over the world, and
Oh my God.
you know,
yes.
we have a really great partner that helps us get the word out on our music, and so radio stations have picked it up all over the place, not on like major radio stations, a lot of college radio, but it's not like
still impressed.
You can always reach for the major ones.
That's the next step. But so we have fans from all over the place, but because we're parents, we really only play on the West Coast, and we're parents, yeah. And and so yeah, a little surprise. And so we can't really like do the big world tour kind of thing. And so so doing the live streams was actually cool for us because we got to play a live show for people that had been wanting to see us live. We have like a Germany, we have like people up that way that like us, which is cool. We've got people on the East Coast that like.
Why am I not surprised?
It fits, right? It makes
Germany
sense.
loves that kind of music, forever. Forever.
I'm excited to. I think definitely sometime in the next few years we'll go tour Europe.
Yes, that's the plan.
I might need to hook you up with my friend Andreas. He's the lead singer of a band called Northern Light in Europe.
Oh,
great.
And they're finally going to do a world tour. And Eric, we're going to that, by the way, for free.
I know. Hey, I mean, I know
just
now.
Maybe
free.
I could connect you. You guys could tour with them in Europe.
Great. We're down.
Awesome.
We love it.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I could at least say something.
Yeah,
it's great. We're just spitballing ideas.
Any word is better than no word.
That's
right. I love it.
You never know.
You had another question.
Yeah,
what was
that
your
was
second
the first
question?
About live streaming.
I don't know. I forgot. ADD, man.
Then I got one.
I knew I should ask the second one before the first one.
Oh no. That's okay. Eric's got a question.
Sad guy. So we talked about some of Jen's background musically, but Chris, you thought you got away from that question. You didn't. I saw that you did some schooling at, I want to say it was Portland State. Is that where you learned how to perform?
That actually was Jen. Jen did Portland State.
Jen
did Portland State? What year was that?
Oh my gosh, that Willamette Weekly article.
Oh, because I went to Portland State too. We went at the same time, but I doubt it now.
So I was there in like the early 2000s.
Oh,
I was. Chris, did you just pick up some sticks and go, "This seems fun"?
No, I mean, when I was young, it was kind of like a Christmas present where my parents were like, "Here's a gift certificate to the local music shop. You can choose whatever instrument you want."
Wow.
Looking back, I'm like, well, parents just buy their kids, pay for music lessons. But I was like so stoked. That was like the best Christmas present I could have ever gotten. It was incredible.
Cool.
And I don't know what pushed me to choose the drums, but I chose the drums immediately and I never wavered. So that was 5th grade. I started playing the drums. I played all throughout high school and all the pep bands and jazz bands, and all throughout college and all the pep bands and jazz bands, and just kept going. But I, as was the era, I was really big into pop punk. and went to a
Yeah.
lot of pop punk shows in Portland.
Did you see Fall Out Boy?
No, I saw MXPX, and I was a big.
Oh wow,
I was a huge MXPX fan.
MXPX.
Yeah, I loved Slick Shoes. I don't know if I saw Good Charlotte early
Wow.
days, which was hilarious.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You dating yourself a little bit.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
I understand what's happening here.
But you still keep up with those bands, right? To see if they're coming out with new music.
Do you?
I haven't. Okay, not necessarily. No, I actually had a huge ska phase in high school.
I think we all did. If you played Tony Hawk, it really got me into it.
I played a lot of Tony Hawk. Yeah. My music tastes have completely shifted. Totally 100% shifted. After high school, I had like a big jazz phase, but I went into college and I was like, wait a second. There's so much other music I haven't listened to. I was like, I know there's new music coming out, but I haven't listened to like the Allman Brothers. I haven't listened to like Floyd's albums. I haven't listened to Led Zeppelin. So like that was when I started like diving into more of the classic rock and trying to understand where today's music is getting its influence from. And so I don't know. I just listen to everything. Nowadays I kind of lean a little bit more pop. Like I'm a big Caroline Polachek fan.
We're going to go see. We have our tickets.
Okay.
We're going to see a couple. About us as far as like musical influences go. We play a lot of music, but the other main thing that we do is go see a lot of music. We go to local shows all the time. All of our friends we've met through the music scene, are also musicians.
Kind of a fun, when you're talking about your early days getting drum lessons, one of our best friends today who's in a Portland band was working at the music shop that you were getting lessons at when you were like 10, and then now we've like reconnected.
So he's like my best friend, and I knew him since I was 10 years old.
It's a really small, super tight knit community. So we see we play music, we see music.
I think we're going to see a show at Mississippi Studios possibly tomorrow night. So
this venue that you're just learning about, it's a really cool place. You would like it.
Wow.
Great local bands
kind of
are playing a show
in town.
Yeah, you can Yelp about it.
Yeah, Yelp it.
Yeah.
See
Yelp about it. I
don't
really Yelp about venues though, because it's, you know what I mean?
I Google reviews, so I'm the real plebe here.
Let me tell you, those venues could use a 5-star rating.
Yeah, every once in a while throw up.
I did Yelp for Corey Feldman, and I mentioned you guys in there. So
thanks.
That was my first venue Yelp.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't been to one since.
That's amazing.
You guys were his first time.
Wow.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
You were my first time.
Was that like an acceptable answer for musical history and influence? I mean,
that was beautiful. No, that was good. That was good because
when we edit it, it'll sound better.
Everything that I thought I'd found was all about Jen. So sorry, I just thought that Jay Horton at the Willamette Weekly was taking more note of what Chris was doing.
We love
most of what's like important to know is related to Jen anyway.
Stop that. No, that's not true. No, actually what I love about our songwriting
That's such a good man. He's like, he's like my wife is definitely the best part of me and the band. And
the wine is coming out. The wine, here it comes. He's turning red.
We need a refill on that.
Yeah. No, I think that one amazing thing about our songwriting process that I love, because Chris plays drums, but not like guitar or something that he's going to be like, I wrote this like beginning of a song.
Right.
All of our songs sort of begin with me writing like the core of like what it is, but I'll bring it to Chris and say like, I got this thing, like take a listen, which also is like so vulnerable and like terrifying. Right. And then Chris is always like, that reminds me of this kind of song, or that kind of reminds me of like this era, or like, what if we did like this kind of beat to it? And Chris will kind of sit with it. We'll play it like through a bunch of times, and then he'll come up with some kind of beat that could actually like change the direction of the song completely. Like where I was thinking it was going to be this, and then I'm like, no, that is so rad. So we have this new song. We're super excited. It's going to be our next single. It's called Electric Suns. And we played it at the Feldman show.
It was so awesome.
Oh, you did?
I love that.
It almost had me in tears.
Oh yeah, and we feel the same. I mean, you're excited. Like, I feel lucky to have written it. Like we love it. Like we're very excited about recording it. And
this could be the big hit.
Well, you know, you never know.
Any one of them could be.
You know, Lizzo wrote her incredible album, and then it was discovered like 7 years later. So, you know, who knows? But like Electric Suns is
I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Electric Suns is a great example because I wrote it, and then Chris is just like, dark synth, let's go. And he's just like had this whole like really
like
cool...
this has like a TV on the radio vibe kind of. I'm like some drive and some punch to it. Like let's find that like dark drama moodiness and like dive into that.
And then that like kind of led to the lead line being like born, you know, which I hadn't really written that till you had your beat. And so it's like a producer, but also a songwriter. I think that's like what you bring that so well, where it's like, it doesn't just turn what we've already made into a recording, but you actually like influence the entire like elements, the entirety of the elements of the song. And so it's a cool partnership because it's like two completely different perspectives on music that sort of converge. And then the third perspective is our producer. His name's Ryan Lewis. It's not the guy from Macklemore. I just want to say that out loud. But Ryan, because people are like, oh, Macklemore. It's like, no, but actually Ryan, in his own right, Grammy winner, he is the main engineer for Doja Cat.
Yes.
And so he is a friend of ours. We met him. He used to be a Portland guy and then moved to LA. And so we've just known him, you know, in that way. And he came to one of our shows and he sat us down and was like, you're always trying to add new elements to your recordings. Like you're always trying to like got to bring in horns. We got to bring in all the guitar player. And he's like, I don't want to do any of that. I just want to focus on you two in our recordings. How can we make what you two do be bigger and bolder and stand out and simplify it away from other elements? And that was really a huge turning point for us because we realized that we could just do this, the two of us. We could make all of the sounds, and he really helped us figure that out. And that's now in our recordings that we don't bring in guest players. It's only ever us on the recordings. And I love that because then it is something that we can always replicate on stage. And so anyway, I'm really grateful for his influence as well, because I think he's really been a huge partner in that way.
Absolutely.
No, actually, that sounds like an incredible connection, not just like in a networking sense, but just like in a personal sense to make. And super impressive, honestly, someone who's worked with such high level acts and helped, produce music for them. Like I saw one of them was like Dram, and you mentioned Doja Cat. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love them all.
We're obsessed with
like
Chromeo. We love
Louis
Chromeo.
The Child, he's
Chromeo, yeah.
Yeah,
so
he's worked with.
I got into him like late 2000s. I discovered that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's really. I think Ryan knows how to make like that indie pop, just like that, like that sound. He's really got that down. And
your guys is indie pops, okay? Let me tell you.
I love it.
Pops me in the ears.
I'm quoting you on that. Great.
Say it right on the spot.
Oh, please. Oh, yeah. Eric Thomas quote from the Arguably Awesome podcast was quoted saying, indie pops him in the ears.
I don't think we can swear on this podcast, Chris.
They've been swearing us.
Have you guys been swearing?
Okay, I have.
And to be honest, all I do is I bleep it out so that there's like kind of like a family friendly thing in case, you guys do have younger fans that kind of want to check it out.
We should bring our 15-year-old on. He swears so much more than we do. He swears more than
he can't control.
He swears a lot. Yeah. And it's fine. Like we're like, they're just words. It's okay. Just not in front of Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the main rule,
I'm learning so much about you guys. 15-year-old kid swears like a sailor. The OnlyFans. I mean, there's just so much here.
There's so much to learn.
To unpack.
First thing we're doing when we like hang up on this call is go and start an OnlyFans
account.
Yeah.
They're finishing each other's sentences.
No, we're not.
Oh, Anthony, quick while I collect myself, do you have a question?
Well, shoot, you pretty much asked everything.
Nope, I've
If
got.
you had, okay,
No.
well, you know what, whatever. Okay, I want to ask every guest this.
Okay.
3 wishes.
Oh.
Like
If you had 3
like
wishes.
in
For the
general?
globe?
Yeah, 3
Or, like,
wishes in
or-
anything.
My
If
God.
you had 3 wishes, okay, we'll go.
so-
It can be a joined 3 wishes, or it can be 6 wishes because
Please be
you
like,
can
you
You're
each
gonna
pick
give
3.
each of them 3 wishes. Damn.
change and like
Yeah, it could be anything you want in your life,
Oh my God.
anywhere in your life.
that's a tough one because like you can't be like I want this when it's like there's
You can
climate
wish
change.
for whatever you want.
Okay, more.
I give you the
yeah.
power.
First wish. First wish: more nude beaches.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
let Chris answer this one because I'm like climate change. Okay,
First, you had to go with him to the Yelp thing. Now he's wanting
Yeah.
nude
Second wish.
beaches.
Second wish: climate change. What's the
No,
wish about climate change?
like, we don't have no like-
climate change.
No, you want climate change.
We're not pro climate change. We
Chris is
believe
my kind of man.
Kim Crush, bold opinion: climate change.
more climate
More-
change. No, we don't want more climate change.
Change the climate.
No, we don't want
I
more.
love that
Oh,
new
wow.
beaches was furs.
Okay, climate change. Second, what's the third one?
Third one is everyone gets a puppy, of course. You know.
Unless you can't be responsible for it, and then like don't get one.
Oh, who's
it'll
in
die.
charge of deciding who's
Yeah.
responsible for those puppies?
I just think like a puppy
Okay,
is
we're
like
gonna create a puppy committee. Okay, and
Fourth
you have to
wish, we have
apply.
a puppy
You have to
committee.
apply for a
Hashtag puppy committee.
Hashtag puppy committee.
we'll decide.
When you
If you
put us
can
on the
get a
spot
puppy.
with such a broad spectrum,
That's so
those are
broad.
the dumb answers that you get for your question.
Like if you could say like you can't
That's what
change
happens.
anything globally, but like if you could just like have like one like 3 little wishes.
Yeah.
Those big wishes are that there are more than the 2 nude beaches in town.
Yeah.
That people have more pups.
There's new beaches in town?
No.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, damn.
There
I'm
So
are-
you know about.
Oh, nothing we can publicly talk about.
No, there are 2 not that we've ever been there. We've never been
Oh.
there.
Right.
But there are
You haven't.
Right. Everyone knows.
It's-
Everyone
Yeah.
knows.
You're a Yelp elite. It's on Yelp.
What are you reviewing
What are
if you're
you
not
even
reviewing
reviewing?
venues and new
I need to
beaches?
check this
What are
out.
you reviewing?
She
Or
said
Yelp
it's on Yelp.
purposes.
Oh my gosh.
Are you reviewing like yarn stores? Like
Yeah, like,
what
oh,
are
well,
your
You know, there's
I just review the food, baby.
No.
okay, I have a question for you.
I'm
What's
there to
your-
stuff my
top 3
face and
restaurants- top 3
die.
restaurants in town right now?
You know what? That's too hard. What's your favorite meal you ate last year? Like what restaurant?
Okay.
Ooh, Kachka.
Oh my God, it's
My
the best
favorite
restaurant in town.
restaurant. That's my favorite
Let
restaurant.
me tell you,
Kachka went there for my
What is today?
birthday.
Today's Thursday. We were just there Monday night. We were just there.
Oh wow.
So,
You went there on Monday, so
We
it
were
must
there
have
on
not been crowded, huh?
Not on a Monday.
It was
It's not
pretty
too bad.
It was busy. We had a reservation.
We had a reservation.
Well, I only know that because when I was talking to Phil, he recommended Kachka, so I had to go to Kachka.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I love
Yeah, and then I guess he did it on his show as well, so it was already on there before I knew
Kachka is
about it.
incredible.
Oh yeah. Oh, Phil, was that TV show? Like the?
Phil Rosenthal, yes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
It's amazing.
amazing
It's
food. Everything was good.
The
Nothing
food
was
was so good.
bad.
Oh, good.
Nothing tasted.
No,
I
and
would
they
say
have-
something tasted better than the other, but it was.
No, and my
orgasm.
favorite thing that they have there, I mean, this isn't my favorite thing that they have there, but one thing I love that they have there is their house infused vodkas. They have this, a horseradish infused vodka, which sounds weird, but it actually is
freaky.
like delightful.
Sounds good.
It's super
It's
good.
we're both pescatarian,
Yeah.
and so that's like
We
that
can eat
restaurant works
there.
well for us.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
it. We
Sounds
love
good.
it.
What is a pescatarian for people who don't know?
We're vegetarians that eat fish.
Sounds like a religion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't eat like
It sounds like Presbyterian.
we don't. Yeah, we're not
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian. No,
Yeah.
that one. Heathens. We don't eat like meat other than fish.
Even
No.
Okay,
Is
you know
that
what? That's
not
good.
how- Yeah, it's
You
just
don't have to
like-
worry about a heart attack
yeah,
anytime
it's like
soon. At
it's
least
healthy.
faster.
It's just generally a really healthy lifestyle, and then then you can partner that with an unhealthy lifestyle where you're drinking like a lot of horseradish vodka.
Yeah, exactly.
You can pair.
I'm guessing you two are farmer market.
Well, sure, when we can.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
horse, but I was gonna.
Farmer
that might be
market
a little-
whores. Wow.
Whoa.
I do like the farmers market.
I'm not mad at
Farmers
that.
markets have the best tamales.
They do. That's the thing. The food carts there are really good.
I used to complain because it was expensive, but then I was like, it's a lot better though than going to the store and you don't know what's processed, even if they say it's not. And they say this has this many calories. Does it really?
No, I love a farmer's market, and we'll go when we have time. But we don't always have time.
We don't always have time, and we also like even our kids are like, can we just go out for like some
McDonald's
tonight?
No, they have more refined palates.
No.
We'll get the fish burger.
There's happy hour at that sushi restaurant that I love, and I could go get some curry. Like that is
tempting.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, actually, that does sound delicious. Let's go. You
guys ever been to Sushi Hata off of North Vancouver and Ivy?
No.
Oh, you gotta go. It's conveyor belt sushi. It's one of my favorite places. It's Sushi Hata, HADA.
Our local conveyor belt sushi has a hilarious name, and it is O Sushi. Like
I know the place.
Irish, like O''apostrophe sushi.
Oh, sushi. Come down to McTallahan's. Oh, sushi.
We'll shoot you up a nice little sushi platter.
Exactly.
Cracks me
and play the old mandolin while you're eating.
Oh my god.
We'll get a little leprechaun dancing on your shoulder.
It's like a little sushi.
Song
and dance. It's great.
We love the miso soup.
Wait, are you guys are in Portland, right?
Yeah.
I bet you guys live near
me?
Hawthorne.
We're in Southeast. We'll say that. But we had to move because our address got out. And
he's like, you live near Hawthorne.
I'm trying to look at the interior of your house and guess where this is located.
You're trying to judge us right now. You're trying to guess what type of people we are.
What kind of people we are.
You're so Portland. Makes me sick.
Don't look at our tattoos. You're looking at our tattoos.
There was a point of time in my life when I did live on Hawthorne.
I think anybody who plays music probably did.
Yeah, I lived above a Pizza Shoals in an apartment.
Amazing.
And it was
okay. We're talking about we might be a little hungry because we keep talking about
we got
you guys are bringing food.
I'm going to Ken's Artisan Pizza tomorrow because I need to try it. I have never tried
it. Ken's is great.
Our favorite, it's supposed to be one of the top in the nation, right?
It's great. Ken's is great. Our favorite is a Pizza Shoals.
Pizza Shoals. I don't know. Is it better? I don't know.
It's different. The taste buds. Your taste buds really judge which one tastes better.
You need to go to both places, and you won't.
Have you guys tried ranch pizza?
Yeah.
We have. Yeah, ranch is great.
Is it any good?
It's like a deep dish.
It's really good, but frankly, Scotty's pizza to me, like at that kind of pizza, I would go
for like thick.
Yeah,
I like via Chicago.
Ranch,
you guys want deep dish?
Ranch is one of the few deep dish ones.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you guys tried via Chicago?
No, I haven't tried that.
That's like the authentic deep dish Chicago in Alberta.
On Alberta, yeah.
These people from Chicago, I wanted to interview them, but I saw somebody else did. But maybe we should. It was like a short interview, like not many views. I'm like, what?
Do it.
So good.
I haven't.
I'm a pizza whore.
Apparently.
You live in the greatest pizza city in the country, right? That was an article that just came out.
Yeah.
That Portland.
But isn't that biased? They say New York is or Jersey.
No,
maybe that's Chicago.
These two guys that are like these foodies.
Travel.
I don't know. They were like they have these incredible pedigree, and they did all this research, and they put out this book. Portland is the best pizza city in America.
I think it's the best food place in America, to be honest.
I agree. 100% agreed. But I thought that was like
honestly, I'm not to like
beer too,
but not to try to just like specifically bring it back. But honestly, some of the best local music too. I do firmly believe that.
Oh, okay. Respect.
Not because
Portlandia hit it right.
We're talking about ourselves, but like because I mentioned that is our other hobby. Like there's just really some incredible local music here.
And like if you ever want recommendations of other bands to go see, like we'd
be happy to share.
We love the music that comes out of this town.
Hit it, plug it.
Well, our friends are playing a show tonight that we couldn't go to. Double Plus Good. They were playing at Holocene.
Double Plus Good.
Double Plus.
Is it a plus? The plus sign?
No, it's all one word, all written out. Double Plus Good.
We'll write that down somewhere in the description.
Yeah, so they played we invited them to play our big EP release this summer, and they're just amazing. He's a crooner, and they play like indie pop plus like crooner, and has this incredible voice. People were like freaking the fuck out when he starts singing. The whole room just like loses all of their shit.
We got to see this, Eric. We got to check this out.
I know.
Summer.
I love crooning.
2023, baby.
He's incredible. They are incredible.
A lot of our friends are playing this weekend. There's the Portland Folk Festival at the Crystal Ballroom, and that's put on by some of our friends in a band, Fox and Bones. But they're featuring like 30 Portland folk bands and a lot of incredible artists playing there.
And I just think it's so cool that like this huge 3-day festival that's being like featured everywhere is started by 2 indie musicians here in Portland. It's at Crystal Ballroom. Yeah, I mean, like this town is full of such creativity. It's just a real incubator for music, I think, and for food. Like I think for so many things, like music, food, wine, and beer, like all the best things, all my favorite things. It's like this town, I think, is full of people that like to make shit, you know? And
you should make a song about Portland.
Yeah. What's the Portlandia theme?
By
Remember
Waves?
the 90s or something like that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
The dream of the 90s is alive and Portland.
Dream of the 90s. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I still couldn't believe that an SNL cast member made a show here. I was like, whoa.
You know what's funny?
Awesome.
Actually, so we used to live in Selwood, and one day we had, of course, it was perfect. We had an out-of-town guest staying at our house. We went on a neighborhood walk. We walk around, and he's like, "This place is so cool. This neighborhood is so cool." And we walk back. It's like an hour later, and there's an Airstream trailer parked next to our house with a legit rug rolled out onto our lawn. Okay. And he's like, "Oh, do you have visitors?" And we're like, "We have no idea what's going on." And so we walk up, and Fred Armisen he just walks out of the Airstream.
Yay!
And he goes, "Is this your lawn?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I might have broke it with my rug." And we're like, "Okay, that's okay."
He would do the baby voice.
He was wearing like a curly wig, you know, and he's like, "Nice to meet you," you know, and like,
we're like,
"Enjoy filming."
"Okay, are you filming nearby?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
He's just like nearby. He's like, "Yeah, in your yard."
And he was in our yard. And then
did you get a picture with him?
No, because it was weird. We didn't want to be, you know, I don't know. We were like,
but hey, Fred, you welcomed yourself in my house. Now you have to come in.
Yeah, come on in.
You know, great. Now I got to serve you dinner.
You know what, though? He also didn't get a picture with us.
Good point.
Oh, missed opportunity.
But then it ended up being the most perfect night because, like, so our out-of-town guest sees Fred Armisen parked in our yard, basically, and then Fred goes to film. We sit on our porch, and our neighbor comes out shirtless playing the flute just down the street, you know, and I was like, "This
is it a woman or a man?"
It was a man.
Oh yeah, but it was the flute, and then it was the accordion.
Not as good. Yeah.
Oh, don't be sad, Anthony. He was still probably hot.
No, I mean not
as long as he had a chest.
No, I don't mean like.
I just want to.
She's like, "I'm not going to say this in front of Chris."
No, I mean it's just how would you describe? I don't know.
It wasn't the worst thing you saw, right? I mean,
well, he's being creative. Yeah, this is my neighbor. But my friend
everyone's hot, you know.
Like every person brings
in their own way
something to the table.
I like that because I like to try and see the beauty in everybody.
Me too.
So I get it.
Me too. You know,
it's there in most of us.
Sometimes you got to look really hard.
It exists in most of us. Most of us have beauty.
Yeah, everyone. Well, yeah, you're right.
Most of us.
Most of us do.
Yeah.
Eric, you got any other questions?
Yeah, I know this is pure gold. All of this is you guys.
No, this is great. I
don't think there's going to be anything we need to edit out, to be honest.
No, I don't think so. No, my question, honestly, is, are you folks? Just to make sure I got this right off of Instagram, y'all are playing the Jeremy Wilson Foundation benefit on February 17th.
We are. Oh my gosh, I love this show. It's called Cover Your Hearts, and basically, it's a fundraising show for Jeremy Wilson Foundation, which is a foundation that raises money for full-time musicians.
Okay.
That fall into health problems. Because health insurance in this country is sort of a garbage fire.
Full-time musicians are self-employed basically,
Yeah.
and like you have to go and buy your own insurance, or you don't have insurance,
And,
so
and even that insurance might like barely cover like a major illness or
Right.
hospitalization. And so Jeremy Wilson raises funds to help artists in Portland specifically, you know, when they fall into these sort of hardships from medical issues. And so it's a really amazing, worthy cause. They've been doing the show for over a decade. And
we've done it 3 times before, I believe.
maybe more. I don't know.
Okay.
It's been a minute, but basically you play guilty pleasure love songs from the 80s and early 90s. So the last time we played it, it went kind of off the radar for COVID, but the show before COVID, we played a Cher song. We played a Madonna song.
We've done a Meatloaf song, a White Snake song. I mean,
Rest in peace, Meatloaf.
What's the when I think about you, I touch myself.
Oh yeah.
The vinyls.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Anybody
else? Yeah,
I always thought that was Blondie, Debbie Harry singing that song
it's
for the
not.
longest time.
But
I know.
That's like a one-hit wonder. The Divinyls.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like you play and you try to play them literally as best as you can. And you bring in other guest players, you do all sorts of stuff to try to play it note for note. Of course, our set is absolute total secret. We can't tell you what we're playing this year, but you know, get your tickets to that because it sells out every year.
That's not like your typical Camp Crush show. That'll be a little bit different because we're like we're gonna have some other people playing with us. We're doing covers
but people do dress up too. I think it's
Eric, we gotta go.
The audience dresses up.
We gotta go.
That's a really fun one, and it's for charity. And then we may be secretly, who knows if this is announced or not, doing a little tiny guest spot back at Bossanova on February 3rd. Might just be popping in for a little secret set there. So we got some fun stuff coming up.
The big one that we're super excited about, like the big like Camp Crush original set show, is opening for Kingsley at Mississippi Studios, 4th. Which we have discussed on March 4th. You need to be
introduced to, and you're gonna love it.
He's like, I don't need to hear this.
I've never introduced anybody to Mississippi Studios, which is great. Usually, yes, this is exciting. And then of course, you know, we're playing the UFO Festival in May. So.
Ooh, okay.
I hope I get pro.
That one's
in McMinnville. That's like it's a McMinimans. They like shut down all of
the
whole
UFO festival.
And people dress up like aliens, and then Camp Crush is just gonna be like.
That'd be perfect for our alien episode.
We might have to dress up like aliens too.
Yeah, I will. Green bodies.
We got to do another podcast episode about aliens because we did one a few days after the 75th anniversary of Roswell. But with the 76 coming up again this year, we might have to rack up some footage at this UFO event. Oh, that's so exciting!
We saw an actual encounter.
You might
probing and checking of the music.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a whole other conversation.
Chris said, "Okay."
We're put it in.
But the main thing we want you to walk away from
we'll dive deep into aliens if you let us.
We'll go down that road, but only if you come.
Welcome to Oregon. We love aliens.
March 4th, Mississippi Studios, and then we'll talk aliens. You know, after that.
Yeah,
yes, I freaking dig it. She said, "We'll talk Mississippi State." They are not going to let you live that down, bro.
Right, because like we'll see you there.
What is it again?
Mississippi Studios. They're still kicking your ass about that.
At this point,
I feel like you don't want to learn. I feel like you know.
I'm a Cancer. I'm stubborn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I didn't say it earlier, but happy late birthday, Chris. I know it was like 5 days ago. But
yes.
It was the spiciest of birthdays.
It was amazing.
Truly.
It was a
spicy.
truly great birthday. Had some friends together. Had an incredible time.
Yes.
We all told each other what we loved about each other, and it was great.
No. She said it was very spicy. I want to hear the spicy part of it. It certainly wasn't what y'all loved about each other.
It's been a very spicy podcast.
The spicy part was the
food.
The Italian food that we ate.
The food.
The food was really spicy.
There were some delicious martinis though too. So,
was it?
Oh, I love to drink, so I love that. I love that a lot.
Yeah.
Gosh.
What is that? A Kardashian sound, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give y'all my top fave tracks.
Okay.
And then I don't know, just kind of figure out a way to ramp it down from there for your health and benefit. It's already
Yes, we know
almost
you
9.
guys are hungry.
Right. We've been talking about food
Can
for
you
an
taste
hour.
that pizza?
Oh my
It's,
god.
yeah, we've got some leftovers.
Oh my god, these cookies.
Ugh, I'm not even gonna do it.
No, so you guys got the EP, she's got it. My favorite songs off of that I would say have to be Hometown Glory for sure. It gets me pumped up in the morning. The comes on and you got Chris in the background, and it's got such this like up what am I trying to say? It's got this like upbeat tune to it, but you're like, and you kept my seat.
That's one of my first,
one
of the original Camp Crush songs.
That was my first song where I was like, I'm gonna write a song that sounds like a John Hughes soundtrack.
It does.
That was my like whole vision around that song.
It works, and that is why it's my favorite, because I'm like, it gives me like, don't forget about me. Like it gives me all those vibes.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
Oh my god. And then the last hour, I mean, we're talking drama. Woo. Last hour's got some drama in it. It's got this whole like desert oasis like thing going, and Chris is just kind of like giving you, he's like setting it up for you. And then
I think
she's just,
most of the songs, except for a couple, most of our songs we've made music videos for too, which we did all ourselves, which has been really fun.
The one for Shadows is great. I love that one. It was that was funky.
So I've spent some time on the computer making all these things, but the last hour one was really fun because it was like spending some time trying to like get into the drama of it, and we actually filmed that in Boise, Idaho, for whatever reason. But
and that song, we actually wrote it for a movie, and the director had given us like, knew our music and had asked us to write, like sent me the script of the film and said, I want something that's like James Bond meets like Stranger Things. I don't know if this is Stranger Things.
Adele drama.
Yeah, it was like,
he was thinking,
I'm definitely getting the Stranger Things
song,
Yeah,
like,
and so
running up that hill.
It's kind of got like
a little overplayed now.
A little, we've
she hits this part, and then she's like, in the last hour, and then she's like, and you're just like, ooh, and then she just holds it. She's just like belting last hour.
I like that loud, sharp sound that's in that.
Yeah,
I don't know what you call that. I'm not
and
musically inclined.
No, I like that. And what I love about that song though is like the songwriting of that was to get a prompt and have like a whole script that I could read and then figure out how do you like make that come alive through sound. So that was really fun. And awesome. I think it turned out, I love how it sounds. It's so,
it turned out.
Murder. I don't know. It's like a little murdery, you know?
Yeah. I picture like scenes when you're like in the last hour and just doing the final break before you hold the last one out. It's like people running through dark alleyways. We've got the whole like the gimbal spinning thing going on. You know, very dramatic, heavy, dark.
We need a new music video.
Yeah, it's time you're gonna direct it. That's great. That was perfect.
I mean, I wasn't trying to like, but I would. I would.
Great.
Oh my gosh, can I like buy you guys a beer sometimes? Like, awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. Love that.
Yeah.
Camp Crush meetup.
There you go. I told him, I was like, I sent Anthony a text. I was like, it's the Camp Crush X, arguably awesome.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you guys could become Camp Crush Elite.
Ooh, yeah, we'll make a new.
I could earn a new badge.
A new badge.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me with that. Yes. Okay, so we already know Shadows is a killer song, but do we know how hardcore Feel Something just in general goes? I love every song on it. Blood on Fire, Gymnasiums is awesome.
He's obviously listened to more albums than I have at the moment. I've only listened to a few.
Time to do your homework. Yeah.
I shared a reel of my playlist where I just compiled all their songs that I could on Apple Music and was like, Camp crushed my heart. I was like, I listened to it almost every morning.
Getting some IG stories on there too.
I know.
It was great.
Awesome.
You know, I actually Feel Something. So that's the first record that we worked on with Ryan, our producer. And And to me, like that is, I mean, and all of those others, like Hometown Glory, oh my God, like that was when I like figured out how to really like unleash this like very vintagey sound that I was excited about. And that led to so many other songs. Everything is like a step, a progression, right?
Yeah.
Last Hour was like figuring out how do we write outside of our own experience and like make something that's like more universal. And then Feel Something, though, to me was this record that I was like, I'm finally getting to the sound that I am like, that's what I've been trying to do. That's what we've been trying to get to, you know, and
especially like Fireflies and Gymnasiums.
Yeah. And I just think those songs to me, they like captured, you know, this like elusive thing that I was like trying to get to in a recording. So anyway, I'm glad you like it because
with If You Let Me Speak My Mind, was that a direct message to Chris?
No. You know what that song's about? It's about like not unfriending your dad on Facebook.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when your dad's like, well, like posting all this shit that you're like,
you're like, oh, that's a little turfy. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't really say that.
You know, but exactly where you're like, no, okay, that's it. My dad is like an ultimate
PC dad.
Well, and
my gosh,
I love my dad. He's like a very liberal guy, but he doesn't.
Your dad in his 70s.
And he doesn't always
Mine too.
read the memes. You know what I mean? He's resharing like 20 memes an hour, and I'm like, Dad.
Oh, memes.
He's just
what?
He's like
Dude, old people memes.
Yeah, but it's like he's not reading it. And sometimes I'm like,
my dad doesn't even know how to use a computer.
You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have posted that. You know, so
not all memes are created equal.
I feel like Anthony's dad is willfully ignorant when it comes to technology.
Yep.
I'm ignoring it.
He's a big boomer for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My dad has embraced it, but you know, the song's not really about my dad, but it was written during the election, and like when we're all like, if your family doesn't vote, like
you don't agree with me, you can unfriend me even if you're family.
And I think that this song is about like, hey, instead of just like disowning every person we know, what if we tried to have a hard conversation? What if we fought for the conversation and fought for the relationship and realized that we're never going to take somebody from 0 to 100. Like you think this, I think this, and I got to get you to agree with me completely. What if we just like inch by inch, like cared for the people we loved in these tough conversations and tried to like show our perspective and honestly, and did it over and over and over again? And could the world like improve inch by inch, right? Could we be okay with like these micro improvements instead of these, like it's all or nothing? Because it just felt like during that time that everything was so black and white. And while, you know, politically things made a lot of sense to us, you know, or, you know, from the things we thought, I still care about my family, you know, growing up in Alaska, you know, like very conservatively, like I have people that don't agree with like our thoughts, but these people are good people. So how do we have conversations that are meaningful, even when we don't see eye to eye? And that, so anyway, but I also wanted to write a song that sounded like a Meatloaf song.
You know, okay. I like that. I have in my notes here. It says that in that song you say, I want to say you say, if you let me speak my mind right now, you'll see I don't really give a damn right now, or something like that. Is that how it goes? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so that whole line.
I didn't write it down.
You know, like sometimes people will see what you say on the internet and they're like, oh my gosh, Jen is some kind of crazy liberal, you know? And I'm like, actually,
speaking your mind,
you know, but
lock her up.
Like, but in these, actually, like if you can approach these tough conversations and say like, I actually don't care if you understand, like, if you come to my side, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to see like, oh, you're affiliated with this party or whatever. It's more about like, I love you and you love me, and we're going to talk about stuff that's important to us, like as people, you know? And I think that like in that song, you know, I say it's like, it's just you and me right now. It's just you and me right now. And so that's like the heart of the conversation. It's like all of this other stuff. We think you have this big opinion. I know you have this big opinion, but like you love me and I love you. So like, let's just like talk instead of run away from a tough conversation.
Doesn't that just set your blood on fire? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
No,
Wow, a reference.
My goodness.
no, you guys. I mean it. Like seriously, you guys have like really. You guys' music. I mean, just over the course of like November, December. I guess just a few months has really kind of
3
impacted
months
me
now?
pretty
3
heavy.
months.
Honestly,
We love to hear that. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't even recognize Eric anymore. He's starting to wear a beanie now. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's coming.
what's
He's
going on?
it's covered in
You know
cool
what?
buttons.
He's got buttons. It's cool. Like
oh shit, man. Oh damn, you're about to make me like blush, and shit, bro. Like, you ever seen a black man blush before?
great. It was great.
Wow.
Wow,
I have. I made you blush before.
Wow.
You made him blush.
So yeah, so Chris, husband, drummer,
Yes.
backup vocalist,
That's me.
father. How has balancing all of these different things, your relationship with your wife, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with the music, how does does it ever become like a big juggling act for you? Do you find yourself sometimes having to put the drums down so you can listen to Jen, so you can listen to the kids, so you can kind of reconnect? I'm gonna end it there so I don't ask you 3 questions at once.
No, that's fine.
Hiding.
I mean, I think like juggling acts not always a bad thing, right? Like jugglers are incredible at what they do. Like they've got all these things going on at once, and they're usually very skilled. So I think that maybe it's a good metaphor in the sense that, like, yeah, we have a lot of things going on, music and some of the work that we do to supplement that, and the family stuff and everything else that's going on. You have to really focus on priorities and just like plan like crazy. We're big goal setters, especially being the beginning of the year. We have like 1 million goals for 2023. And not just like, I want to be a better person this year, but like literally like actions tied to weeks and months and like with things that we will specifically do to accomplish all the things that we want to accomplish and make sure that we get to do the things we want to do and care for the people that we want to care for, spend the time with the people we want to spend time with, and do as much music as we possibly can too. So absolutely a juggling act, because you got to like pay attention to everything and make sure you don't let anything fall,
I love that.
So, yeah, the kids need
that was a great freaking response to that question. Wow.
You passed.
Yeah, but
Wow.
the kids need attention, and I'm happy to give it to them because they're amazing, and I want to spend time with them. And being creative is part of like being a good parent as well, and part of passing on a good example, so that when they're adults as well, that hopefully they can maybe look back on that and say, hey, maybe I can find permission for myself in the example that I saw to go create something too. So
I think that's like one thing that people don't always get about parenting is that they think like I have to spend every minute with my child, which you want to have like all these moments with your children, but you also need to be a person that your child can look to and say, this is an example of a human. And so when I'm thinking of being my human adult, what do I want to be? Do I just want to like do the cycle again and have kids and they're going to be my entire life? Or do I also want to have other elements about myself that are interesting or creative or whatever? And so like for our kids, it's cool because they come to a bunch of shows with us, like when they're all ages. It's hilarious. We'll bring them to festivals. We were playing this festival with I think there were like 3,000 people there. It was a beer fest, and my 13-year-old daughter in the middle of a song, like walked up in front of the audience while we're in the middle of the song, and she's just like, let's go.
She's like,
and I was like,
done.
I'm going to finish the song. Like we're still.
I love that you're like,
We have to play this set, but like they're so used to being in these environments and like rock and roll environments, coming to festivals, coming to shows with us, that like it's normal for them, which they may not think it's cool right now, but someday in their lives they'll be like, this is the foundation that they're building their life on, where they have all of these experiences and they saw, mom and Chris's stepdad, they see stepdad, like doing this thing, and how are they going to like then take that into their life and go, well, what do I want to do now? My mom was a church pianist, and she, that was like, so I always grew up seeing my mom on stage. And I think that really influenced me, so it's sort of a quantity and a quality thing, like a quality of self and quantity of time invested.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Oh my God. Like that was actually really insightful. I've always wondered how anybody goes about balancing child life with, not child life, but like their children's life with trying to be creative or, trying to be like their own person still as an adult after having kids. So that was actually like a really good look, honestly, into what that process is like.
Yeah, we're lucky. Our kids are cool. They're really cool people.
Thank God.
That helps. They like sushi.
Yeah.
That's the main.
Yay! All right.
They like will go have sushi with you anytime.
That's true. Yeah.
So they're not just like life ruining little shits.
No, like that's the good
no.
part. They used to take it. We used to have to take it to places like JJ Jump.
Oh wow.
I'm talking about like the big,
like a fluorescent light inflatable hell, basically.
And now they're like, what
I
if
haven't been there.
what if we went and caught like a matinee and then like went and got happy hour? And you're like, yep, that sounds rad. Like that's exactly what I would do on a Saturday anyway. So let's go. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
Sounds like we need to set up plans for a matinee and a cocktail or happy hour.
I love it. It's great.
Something like that. Oh my God. A.CARD, I see you gesticulating over there. Do you
I was just like, yes, of course. Of course.
Well, I pretty much spoke about all my favorite songs. I mean, they're all great, and it's really unfair to even try to put any like ranked last or whatever. So I love them all, but definitely I talked about the ones I love the most.
Are you
I just
are you about to say what your least favorite one is?
No,
Let's not
we,
do that.
we won't accept that.
So the one I did
basically,
not
I'm not even
like,
trying to touch
it
that
was
subject.
on the
Okay,
third album. No,
I can't do that. I can't do that.
hated Fangirl. What?
No. And if anybody asked me what my least favorite was, like hey, you've been
we
listening
did
to
collect all the hate
I wouldn't say
comments
it.
though on your social media. So let's look at that.
Okay, good.
No, I'm just kidding.
Really
I'm just kidding.
I was like, did you really?
No,
Yeah.
we just receive a lot.
This is called the hot seat, where we're
Actually-
gonna put you on there and just show all the negatives. No.
We don't really get hate comments. We just get a lot of unsolicited nudes. It's
I was
fine.
gonna ask, do you guys get
Wait,
naughty
really?
messages?
Hey, are you guys interested in having a menage a trois?
Well, have you guys heard about the
What a
internet?
question.
Have you heard about the
We
internet?
can listen to your music while we're banging away.
No, we get a lot. Yeah,
How do these
get a
interviews always
lot.
get so sexy?
Yeah, it's you guys. You guys are like trying to. You're stirring the pot. No, we don't get. We don't get a lot. We get a lot of really.
upset.
We get a lot of really loving, sweet messages, which I'm really thankful
Yes.
What was Chris gonna say?
for.
I was gonna say something about how Jen is the only female in the room, and she has an experience that none of the rest of us have. So, as a lead singer of a band, she, we share the Instagram credentials, so we can both log in there. So I see the stuff that people send.
Chris is like, whoa.
What do you think of these assless chaps?
No, that was sorry. That was from me.
Chris has his share of super fans as well. It's definitely not.
Oh, so Chris has caught like a pair of bra
Which
on his.
one was this
Bras are
for?
really
What picture was
me.
this
I
for,
think
you or me?
It's more of like guys that really love the drumming, I would say.
You know what though? I can see that. Yo, I don't know who that drummer is, but yeah.
Use the drumstick on me.
It's fine. It's great.
I'll take it all.
It's all great. No, listen, I'm just saying we're really lucky because people generally our community on Instagram is like awesome and really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And and then we get new fans and then we would try like a little. We'll send a sweet little.
We only accept posy vibes.
Posy vibes.
So nothing else is allowed. So
DMs are open for posy vibes. That's what I'm saying.
Closed
like
for niggy
closed
vibes.
I don't know. Yeah.
No niggy vibes.
No negative comments, but otherwise.
Oh, neggy, not naked. Okay. Sorry, my headphones keep slipping out of my ear.
Naked vibes.
He was like, no naked vibes. I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. He's like, he has to see him too. It's like,
Just
hey,
like,
girl.
I did just notice Chris was right though. This is like borderline sausage fest. I'm so sorry that you have to be subjected to this.
it's fine. It's, you know what? It's the music industry. It's usually just like one woman on the stage in the room. It's fine. I'm used to it.
Corey and his wife, only
Y'all
woman
are
on the
great.
stage.
This was great. I had a great time.
Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Arguably Awesome podcast. We have had the pleasure of hosting Chris and Jen of Camp Crush, and it has been probably one of the best experiences on the show I've had, talking to anybody who really.
We had a blast. It was fun. We had a good time. Thank you.
Crushing it with Camp Crush. That's going to be the title.
That's what it's called.
I love it.
Keep on following us. Keep following Camp Crush on Instagram, where you can check out more information regarding the Jeremy Wilson Foundation benefit that they're going to be playing with other local bands, not to mention playing with, remind me one more time, on March 4th.
With Kingsley at Mississippi Studios.
Yep.
Yes, which A.CARD just learned about today.
Mississippi Studios. I'm going to check it out.
Check with us later to see if we actually do get the link to the OnlyFans, and if we actually get to take them out for that drink. After
crushing it.
Yeah, you'll have to come to Mississippi Studio Show to get that link. So
all the deets
we'll let you know after
to be downloaded in the future.
Yeah.
Please enjoy your risotto. Please enjoy your red wine. I need to get something to drink as well, actually. I'm very thirsty.
My mouth is dry.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. This was really fun.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll have to meet at some point.
We'll see you soon. We'll see you for that beer we were talking about. Sounds great.
Please and thank you.
All right.
Oh, y'all have a great night.
Bye.
Yes. Adios.
Adios.